New at 5, a construction company in Berry County must pay more than $100,000 in restitution under an agreement it reached with state regulators who said the business failed to complete jobs and perform up to code work.
It's an update to a Fox 17 Problem Solvers investigation. Marisa Oberly joins us live in the studio with the details. Marisa.
Yep, Jamie and Josh, we finally know the details of this settlement that involved Bay to Bay Building Concepts after a board that oversees these types of orders signed off on it during a meeting today. However, questions remain about whether the company may already be in violation of it.
In a unanimous vote,
yes.
Motion carries.
The Michigan Residential Builders and Maintenance and Alterations Contractors Board approved an agreement on Tuesday between Bay to Bay Building Concepts, its corporate officer Jerold Saeman, and the state's licensing and regulatory agency. The decision comes just months after LARA temporarily revoked the licenses for the Hastings Construction Company and Saeman. According to complaints filed in July, they violated Michigan's occupational code and their work created, quote, an imminent threat. An investigation by Fox 17 found a pattern of customer complaints that cost homeowners several $1,000s. Under the settlement reached, Bay to Bay and Saeman's licenses will stay suspended through January, and it requires them to pay nearly $120,000.
The consent order dissolves the order of summary suspension previously issued, suspends the license for a minimum period of 6 months with credit for the time during which the summary was in effect, $10,000 fine, joint and severable between the licensees, and restitution in the total amount of $109,391 to be distributed as outlined in the consent order to the specific homeowners.
They must make those payments within the next 30 days. If the company or Saeman breaks any of the conditions, which includes performing any regulated work with a revoked license, they could face additional penalties. Social media posts obtained by the Problem Solvers shows Bay to Bay advertised completed projects and ones in progress throughout Michigan shortly after the agency issued its initial suspension. When asked whether this would constitute a violation, a LARA spokesperson said they could not comment further as, quote, investigations are ongoing. Fox 17 tried to speak with Saeman about the agreement, but a woman who identified herself as someone who worked in the company's administrative department told us over the phone he could not talk at the time.
Now, that woman did say Saeman would potentially speak with us next week. We, of course, will share any developments on air and online if that does happen. Reporting live in the studio tonight, Marisa Oberly, Fox 17 News.